Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. This is Z Khwaja, and you are watching my YouTube channel, Learn English with Mr. Khwaja. On this channel, I help you speak English. I help you improve your English, and you do it as you practice with me. Our today's lesson is about introduction. There are two types of introductions. One is formal and the other is informal. When you introduce yourself to a stranger means the person you are meeting the very first time in your life. So when you introduce yourself to a stranger, you start with a formal greeting. The formal greeting is, how do you do? And the response is, how do you do? How do you do? How do you do? It is a replacement of how are you. When it is informal way, you say, hello, how are you? And the other person says, I'm fine, thank you, and you? But when you are meeting a stranger, you say, how do you do? And the response is the same, how do you do? You do not respond by saying, I am fine. So the repetition is there, how do you do? How do you do? Then there comes the name. As my name is Z Khwaja, so I should say, my name is Z Khwaja, please call me Z. Or, my name is Z Khwaja, please call me Mr. Khwaja. And the other person should say, nice to meet you, Mr. Khwaja, or pleased to meet you, Mr. Khwaja. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Khwaja is a little formal, and nice to meet you, Mr. Khwaja, this is a little informal. So pleased to meet you, or nice to meet you, or glad to meet you, all these expressions can be used. So after the exchange of names and the response as courtesy, nice to meet you, glad to meet you, pleased to meet you. If a person says nice to meet you, then the other person can respond like this, nice to meet you too, nice to meet you too, or I'm also pleased to meet you. Then there comes the question, where are you from? Or if the person takes the initiative, he says, I am from Pakistan, and where are you from? And the other person says, well, I am from Japan. Or if you are in Pakistan and someone says, where are you from? You give the larger area in your country. I am from Punjab. I am from Sindh. I am from KPK. I am from Balochistan. So this way, you tell the larger area by saying, I am from Punjab. And come from means belong to. So if you want to say belong to, which is the smaller area in that larger area that you have already mentioned, then you say, I am from Punjab and I come from Lahore. I am from Punjab and I belong to Lahore. Belong to and come from both have the same meaning. So I come from Lahore or I belong to Lahore. You can choose the either one. And then the other person tells something about himself. Then you ask about the person's occupation. What's your occupation? What do you do? What do you do for a living? If the person is student, he would say, I'm a student. And if he's got a profession, like he's a computer operator or something, then he would say, I work as a computer operator. And then later, when you are leaving each other, parting from each other, well, in the beginning, as you said, nice to meet you, glad to meet you, pleased to meet you. In the end, you don't say nice to meet you. When you are about to leave, when you part with the person, you say nice meeting you. And the response is, my pleasure. Nice meeting you, my pleasure. One person says, nice meeting you. Nice meeting you means it was nice meeting you. Being with you was very nice. It was a nice sitting. So, nice meeting you, the two words are understood. It plus was. It was. No need to say it was. Nice meeting you means it was nice meeting you. And the response, my pleasure, it means it was my pleasure. And when you say nice meeting you, it is understood that this is the time to part with each other, to leave the person. And after my pleasure, you can say, see you later. The other person can set the time or the date, see you tomorrow. And in the end, you say goodbye, and the other speaker says bye. So today, this much. I hope it's enough. See you next time. Take care. Bye.